Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man here, and I know you always love to see rare DVDs and Blu-rays, so I'm back tonight with some random rarities from my collection. So as you all know, I've been focusing on my video series, Rare Movies Not on DVD or Blu-ray. And while I will continue doing that, because I have a lot more to show you in that series, I'm going to be starting a new series right here in this video. And this will be random rarities from my collection on either Blu-ray or DVD. So they'll be a lot like the videos I used to post back 5 years ago when I used to post videos regularly. You guys used to love my rare DVD videos, and that's pretty much what you're going to get with this series. I have 5 titles I'm going to show you tonight, and going forward, I'll probably show 5 titles in each of the videos in this series. And because this is random rarities, I may from time to time throw in a different extra item. So it won't be a Blu-ray or a DVD, but something else that's pretty rare for my collection. So for this video, I'm going to start with the rarest Stephen King book in my collection. I have a huge Stephen King library in my house. I love the author. I just really not much by him that I don't enjoy. And while this isn't necessarily my favorite book by him, it's actually probably in my top 3. And I'm talking about Rage. Now, as you see, it says Rage, a novel by Richard Bachman. For those of you who don't know, Richard Bachman was a pen name that Stephen King used early in his career. Now, Rage here is an infamous book for Stephen King collectors because it is the only book that Stephen King has let go out of print. And the reason for that is because it focuses around a school shooting, and it is actually told through the point of view of the school shooter. Stephen King didn't want this book, related to the actual school shootings going on in the world. So this has been out of print for a very, very long time, and this book goes for a lot of money. I'm talking upwards of $400 or $500 sometimes in this condition right here. If we're talking about new mint condition collection, upwards of $800 to $1,000. I've seen it go easily. Absolutely insane. Took me a long time to track down a copy of this, and you guys, well, some of you will believe this. Any of you who used to watch my old rare DVD videos will probably believe this because I tend to have luck with finding good stuff. But for those of you new to my channel, I swear to you, this is the truth. I found this for $1.49 at Savers. Savers is a thrift store. I know it's a thrift chain, basically. I don't know if everybody has one around, but actually found this for $1.49 at Savers a few years back. And as I said, this goes for a ton of money. It's crazy. This book has been reprinted in a collection by Stephen King known as the Bachman books. It has 3 other Bachman books in there as well. However, that too is out of print because Stephen King doesn't want any release of this book still in print. So just wanted to show that to you guys, kind of the pride and joy of my Stephen King collection. And yeah, Rage. Moving on to the first rare out of print Blu-ray now. It's a common movie, a very popular movie, an awesome movie. But this Blu-ray is out of print and it goes for a lot of money. I believe right now the lowest price on Amazon for a used copy is somewhere around $65. I'm not sure why this hasn't been re-released yet. I'm hoping somebody really picks this up and gives it a nice, good, Region A release on Blu-ray. And I'm talking about George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. So this here is the Anchor Bay Blu-ray release. It's been out of print for quite a while now, for a few years now. Again, I'm not sure why. I don't know why this hasn't been re-released. Again, being such a big film, you would think there'd be some kind of crazy special edition of this being released, but this is still the only Region A Blu-ray we have of this movie. And as I said, it went out of print. I was able to find this actually used after it went out of print. I think I got this for maybe, I don't know, $7, $8 maybe, something like that. I don't think it was anything higher than $10 at the time. And as I said, it goes for a pretty hefty price now. Amazon prices bottoming out around $65. So definitely glad to have this, and actually will be the first rare Blu-ray to pop up in this video series. So Dawn of the Dead. Next up is another rare out of print Blu-ray, and this one is actually from Scream Factory, and it is Deadly Eyes. Very glad to have this. When Scream Factory first started releasing titles. I actually kept up for about the first 25, 26 titles or so. I pretty much bought anything that they released, whether I knew the movie or liked the movie. I just bought everything. After that, I kind of started focusing on just the titles that I really wanted. But this was in that first 25 or 26, I believe, which is why I got it. I really wasn't too familiar with the movie at the time, but again, definitely glad I bought it now that it is out of print. It goes for quite a bit online as well. This was a pretty cool movie too, actually. I did watch it. Pretty much, you know, giant rats on steroids living in a subway. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you can say about it. It's pretty much all you need to hear, though. You know, it's a fun movie. Not sure why it went out of print so fast. I mean, by fast, I guess it was in print for a couple years, but you know, they must have lost you know, licensing to the title and whatnot. And it was one of the first Scream Factory titles to go out of print, because there hasn't been many from Scream Factory that's gone out of print. There's a few, but not too many. I think I have all of them but one that's gone out of print, and those will probably show up in some future videos in this series. Next up, I have an out-of-print Anchor Bay DVD. Now, for those of you who used to watch my videos years back, you probably remember that I'm a big Anchor Bay collector. At least I used to be. They were highly collectible at one point. I know a lot of people used to love to collect them. And to be honest, I still do. If I come across an out-of-print Anchor Bay title, I usually pick it up to add it to the collection, you know, depending on the price. There's just something about Anchor Bay titles that I enjoy. You know, I love the logo on the spine, you know, the old logo, and I just like how they look on the shelf. They released some great titles back in the day, and yeah, I really enjoy collecting them still. This DVD right here is actually one that took me a long time to find. It was a lot harder to find than many of the others that I found in the past. And this movie actually appears in Terror in the Aisles, and that's really what got me interested in finding this film and adding it to my collection. And it is The Seduction, starring Morgan Fairchild. Now, as you know, in Terror in the Aisles, if you've seen that, it shows a lot of Morgan Fairchild in this movie. And, you know, Terror in the Aisles shows a couple of those scenes. So, I mean, if that didn't interest me, then, you know, nothing was going to. But putting that aside, it's a pretty good thriller. It's Morgan Fairchild who plays an anchorwoman, and she's basically being stalked by a crazy fan. As it says on the back here, an erotic thriller with sex, violence, and nudity. You know, what more could you ask for? So, pretty good movie. Glad to have it in the collection. As I said, it took me a long time to find this DVD. I don't know why it's so rare. I've never come across another copy. This is the only copy of it I've ever seen, and it's the one that I own. So, there you have it. The Seduction from Anchor Bay. Next up is an out-of-print Blu-ray of a movie that I'm sure a lot of people on here enjoy, and it is Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, this is just a fun movie. I love watching this movie at Halloween time. Had the DVD for a while, still do, of course. And you know, the Blu-ray was just so hard to find for a while. It's out of print, you know, it still is. Goes for a pretty high price online. The prices have dropped some. At one point, this was going for about $60 used on Amazon and eBay, and it's down to about, you know, 20. I think is the lowest price now for a used copy on Amazon. So it's still pretty high for a used copy. And I know eBay prices are obviously a lot higher than that because it's eBay. But it's a great Blu-ray to have. It's just a nostalgic movie for me. It's a movie that I grew up watching. It's just so much fun. If you've seen this movie, I'm sure you would agree. I don't know too many people who watch this movie and say, "Oh, I didn't like that." It's just you got to have a good time with it. It's Ernest. There's not too many Ernest movies, if any, that I don't like. It's just a good time, highly entertaining, and you know, anything that really has to do with Halloween, you know, is fun for me. I love Halloween themed films, and again, this is just a good one. So yeah, you know, grab some Miak and pop this in the Blu-ray player if you have it, and enjoy this Halloween season. Ernest Scared Stupid. And the last thing I'll be showing for this part of my Random Rarities video series is another thing that actually features Ernest, and this is the Best of Ernest box set. Now, this is 10 DVDs with a bunch of movies on it. As you can see, 7 feature films, 40 short stories, hundreds of TV commercials, bloopers, behind-the-scenes looks, special surprises. Very cool set. This was pretty cheap when it came out. I actually bought this for my son. You know, he also enjoys the Ernest movies. He definitely did when he was younger. Still does now to this day. You know, Ernest Scared Stupid is one we watch regularly at Halloween time, and usually we also watch Ernest Saves Christmas around the holiday season. But it's a cool box set here because of the rare stuff that it has, stuff that really wasn't released elsewhere featuring Ernest. And most importantly, it includes the movie Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. And that's a movie that is out of print on its single disc release. And it's also out of print now in this set because this whole set is out of print. When I was checking, fairly recently online, I saw that this was actually going for $100 on Amazon used, and there was only one copy of it. I looked on eBay, and it didn't even come up anywhere. Nobody was selling it. So it's kind of an oddity, and definitely a rarity, which is why I'm featuring it in this video. But yeah, pretty cool that I picked it up when I did, because I wasn't really expecting it to be this rare and be this valuable. Again, originally the reason why I picked it up was for Dr. Otto, because that movie is just hard to find anywhere. All the rest of the movies I believe we actually own on other releases, but we didn't have Dr. Otto, and we didn't have all the commercials and all that stuff. So that's why I had picked up the set at the time, and like I said, I'm glad I did, because this is now out of print and very, very rare. So that's it, guys, for part 1 of my new video series, Random Rarities. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please comment below, let me know what you think about these films. I'm sure you've seen at least a couple of them. I mean, especially Dawn of the Dead, probably Ernest Scared Stupid, and maybe the others. If you haven't seen Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam, definitely look up the synopsis of that one. It's such a surreal, fun movie, and chances are, if you like Ernest, you're probably going to want to try to track down a copy of it once you read what it's about. It's just, I don't know. It's a crazy, crazy movie. It's like watching a dream unfold on screen. And I don't mean a dream as in, wow, this is the greatest movie ever. I mean, it's like you're literally in a dream. Crazy, crazy movie. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.